So guys, today we are going to talk about rhythm. Where have you experienced rhythm before? Definitely you guys have experienced it before. Where can you find it? Anyone can say? Music, yeah. Another, can you say another? Art. And there is another one also. Same like art form. Dancing. You can also find the rhythm. So rhythm is, in music, you know that there are certain layers like drums, guitar, keyboard. So you have different rhythm in each one, like a repetition of certain notes playing in those instruments separately, but when it comes together, it gives a rhythm into the music. So same like music, art also has a rhythm, but we call it a visual rhythm. It comes like there are certain layers, like when you're using paint, when you're using shape, color, texture, like that. And also it's about the repeating of those elements like the color or the shape or the texture, etc. And combining all together, you create a rhythm. It's not like repeating means like the same thing you have to follow and the same sequence. No, not like that. It can differ, but there is a rhythm into it. So that's what we call rhythm. And that's more probably the visual rhythm when it comes to art forms. So here in this example, it's about a same figure repeating and it gives a rhythm. You can see, but here the figure is differ a little bit. The size of the shape differs, but even though there is a rhythm, and also it gives, because of this color, the shape and all that, and the value, it gives a 3D effect as well. See here, this is another good example. Can you find anything that is repeated in a just a constant sequence? In this one, shape, only the shape. The colors, what about the colors? They are not repeating, but see the same colors. This blue one, you can also this orange one, you can find it here. This mix of colors, also you can find it here. This one here. That's what I said. It's also, and the shape, consider about the shape. Shape is the same, but it's not in a horizontal or in a one constant line. It shifts a little bit here and there, but still you see the rhythm of the katak. So see, that's what I said. Nothing needs to be repeated constantly. It can be here and there, but there is a if you organize it in a way to create a rhythm into it. So see here this example, another good example. This is an architectural building. This is a facade. Can you see the triangles here? Any triangle is not equal. You see, it moves because of the shape of the building, and sometimes these columns, see, this one is longer than this one is shorter than this one. It differs, but still you see a rhythm in it, a mix of triangles repeating. So it's about the triangle, not exact triangle repeating. And also about the slabs, see, this one is a little bit coming out, this one is setting back. still you see the rhythm in the slabs and also the triangle columns. This is another good example for a rhythm. Can you see this one? This one is called parametric rhythm. What shape can now? Here, there is a shape here. This shape, can you see it? The same shape, having it repeated all over this furniture. But see, it differs from one to another. The size of it, this one is smaller, this one is bigger. But the shape is there, but the size is differs. So progressive rhythm is a rhythmic pattern. It will be like you take one shape and it goes through a mathematical calculation or formula and generate a certain sequence of shapes. That's what we call parametric rhythm. You can find this in your softwares in the future. I don't know whether you will use it. You guys will definitely learn about it. In Revit, there is also a parametric designing component in it. It's like using the same, like I said, about the mathematical formulas and generate certain design. And see here also, you use the shape, and here the shape and the colors used to create the rhythm in apparel industry. Here they use the grid also. Do you remember we learned that the repetition is also helps to create one certain design principle? We learned it before. Anyone remember that? Anyone have idea about it? Because it's very important when you are doing your future designs. Rhythm is important when, just say, a building. Now I showed you about the building. The facade, if you have so many components here and there, what will happen? There is no There is no unity in it. Do you remember that unity we learn about repetition? So in your interior, the people who are doing, the guys who are doing interior, when you are creating spaces in a building, so you have given us building and a whole floor and ask you to design certain rooms and certain areas. But if you don't have a unity in it, it will looks like here you have a separate kind of a atmospheric room here, and there is another way of elements there, here and there, like that. But you need to have a spatial progression, that's like from one space to another, how you progress, and that creates that the rhythm helps you to create that a certain factors repeating. So that's what I said. Rhythm is important in to create unity as well as a spatial progression. So there is this design. This was done by Campana Brothers, a Brazilian designer. This chair is called a favela chair. You see this one, when you look into this one, can you feel also the texture of it without touching it? See about the pieces of timber strips used to create this furniture. Can you guys feel the texture? Like, and also, can you guys feel when you are when you're watching a film, you without you are in the scene or without you are playing the scene, you feel the emotions and how the story goes. So it's like, we call it, that effect, the kinesthetic empathy. It's like when you are looking at this furniture piece, you it simulates certain it stimulates your senses in a way like a texture and about the hardness, and when you're watching, like when you feel the emotions like the sadness, happy, same like that. So when you perceive the thing from your eyes, but your mind and the other senses will stimulate from the visual sides. So this is another good example. This is a stainless steel frame. It has stainless steel strips repeating, but when you are, even though you are not there, you feel it like some kind of cool environment. And when you're actually in there, you can also hear the sounds of these steel frames, these steel pieces vibrating. So it's like rhythm can generate from sight as well as sound and touch as well. This is another example. So we learn about the layers like in the music we talk about like drums and guitar and keyboard, same like that. Here are you can find a few types of layers. Like you see red color strips, they are repeating in a certain way here, and you have yellow color strips also repeating in another way, and some white dots. See, it has a different repeating. So see, there are few repetitions of elements in those layers. So when you combine it all together, you also generate a mixed kind of a rhythm. And this is a design done by Dieter Rams. We learn about it in our first lectures about his designs. So see here, these components are repeating, this one repeating, and when you consider about this whole thing, it repeats, but not in the same size, but in a certain way to create a rhythm. That's why I said about when you are creating your spaces also, remember to have a certain kind of a rhythm in it, then it gives a unity in your whole design. When someone is critiquing your design also, it's very important to have it. And nature is a great example for you to find rhythm. See in this water body, certain shapes created, and it gives a rhythm. And also you can find it in trees. Have you realized the branches, how it generates it, how it breaks up? It doesn't break up in a certain manner, but still it breaks. So it gives a rhythm to the whole structure of the tree, and it gives a unity into that element. So nature is a great example for you to identify the rhythm. So see here, this is a bamboo forest. How the value that we learn about the monochromatic, the values of green, how it gives the rhythm into it. See, there is no proper sequence, but still you see a rhythm in it, like, and also the shape of it, shape of the bamboo tree. This is a video clip taken from YouTube. You can just go to the link and check this out. This is a song. It was recorded within about less than 30 seconds, but in the whole music, it goes in a slow motion. And in that one, you can see how the colors will explode and how it changes from one mode to another. It has some exploding of colors, exploding of certain elements in a rhythmic pattern. Just you go through this one. This one already I have uploaded the link also into the canvas. So another major factor in rhythm is we said about the elements. We need elements like shapes, texture, music instrument, notes, certain things. But all these things, if we just step aside, there is another important thing needs to create the rhythm. What's that? Do you have any idea about it? How can we make the repetition, or let's consider about the music. Music, you have notes. It's like you have sound. If you create one sound, a drum beat, you have drum beat, and what do you have the other is about the silence. Silence also another key factor to create rhythm. And there is another now when you have the sound, silence, sound, silence, or have sound, sound, silence, something like that. But what it happens, what do you need to create that one? Just like you have sound, silence, sound, silence. What it takes, like, do you know about the time? You need the time, because you cannot have all the things in 1 second. The time is also a major factor in rhythm. It's about the timing, like you have the sound and you keep a certain timing for the silence and certain timing for the beat, like that. So the art forms in the dancing also, you can find that one. The movements, you have a movement in a certain time and you change it to another one, or you will be in still mode or static mode in a certain time, something like that. So time is also a major factor to create a rhythm in any art form. In your design as well, when you are moving from one space to another. And rhythm, this is you can create rhythm by certain in the visual rhythm. You can use colors, shapes, texture to create rhythm, and the shape, shape, color, texture, and etc. And motion. So sometimes you don't have repetition forms, but if you have a certain kind of a shape that shows the movement, it also generates a rhythm in certain sculptures or certain art forms, even with the static object. But it gives, if you create it in a motion form, like running, a sculpture that is on running, so you have it changes in a certain way, have repeated shapes like that, it creates also a rhythm, because you in your mind you will combine all together and you will experience the sensation of that rhythm. And this is another good example for the rhythmic pattern in nature, in the sunflower. See here also this small shape, but it's not in a constant distance or the size, it varies here, but it still give you a rhythm here. This one is, but can you see here now in the center, it's like more closer to each other, and then it gives a certain distance to each of the shape. This one we call a progressive rhythm. That's like it changes, but in a regular manner. We have a certain value in it. Like if we say at the center, we say the unit is 1, then the other one can be 2. The other one is 3, 4, something like that. The distance can be varied in a constant manner. Constant manner means like some kind of a mathematical formula. So that's what we call the progressive rhythm. This is another good example. This architectural building. See here, the shape changes. Here the shape changes, but see here you have this kind of a shape, but this line is changing from one way to another, but in a different distances, but in a regular manner, we have a certain distance in between this one can be the double size of this or something like that. So this one is a good example for the progressive rhythm. You can also find the rhythmic pattern in apparel as well, and can also find it, yeah. Merchandising, yeah, merchandising also you can use the rhythm to flow through a space or flow through some certain some graphical forms. And this is another thing. Now the music is about the polyrhythmic structure. It's like you have certain rhythms in certain now the drums, you have a certain rhythm in that's a beat. You have some other keyboards, you have a different notes and a different rhythmic pattern, and guitar is a different rhythmic pattern. But when you combine all together, it's called polyrhythmic. It's like it's a complex thing, like certain rhythms in certain instrument, combine each together and create a complex rhythm. We call it a polyrhythmic structure. Do you guys know about this one, this machine? Name of this Wintergatan structure. There is also a video clip in it. There is a musical pieces created from this this structure. See here, it's also you have this the structure itself has a rhythm of certain elements. See how it repeats. And the special about this one is this one also creates a rhythm in music, and there are some marbles in it. It visually also give a rhythmic pattern with how the marbles are moving from one point to another. Just go through this video and check it out. You can find the rhythm in the music and the structure and how it operates. So sometimes, you know, when you are listening to the music, not in English, a different language, but still you experience it because of what? Because of the rhythm of the music. Not you are not knowing what they are saying or anything like that, but the rhythm is the one that keeps you listening to that and makes you make you experience the whole make you experience it. So that's rhythm is also important when you are doing design. Think about it when you are trying to create certain spaces, some repeating elements, how you repeat it, what are the things that you use, and how it will use for the other spaces, how it relates, like that. So that's for the lecture today. Today's lecture is a very small one. So I will go through with, do you have any questions? And I will go through the assignment and then we will go to the quiz 4, because quiz 4 has 20 questions this time. That's why I will just go through the assignment as soon as possible, and then you can go ahead and do the quiz 4. Go here, that's easy. I'll go through this one. So this time what we are going to do, So first we are going to select, you guys need to select a song and identify the beats and the rhythm in it. So after you identified, you need to bring that song, and also you need to create some sketches using the beats. Like I will just go an example with you. See here, this one, when we consider about the song, let's say about the drum beat that we have, the rhythm that it has. It's like you have this just an example. I don't know about the song, but see here, now you have 4 drum beats closer to each other, like, and you have a gap there, a silence, and then you get another 5 beats, something like that. So you have to create the rhythm in music using the visual form, like shapes, colors, texture. That's why you can use boards, you can use paint, even you can use pastels or any art, any form of paint, and also you can use some colors, some color boards, you can cut them out. So this is like you have a drum beat, let's say drum beat here, and you have a continuous keyboard notes at the background, say, let's say. So it's like a flowing thing, so you can use that as well. A certain visual forms to be used to give the idea, give the feeling of the song. So this is another example for that. See here, use colors and some points to show the wavelength. I know you guys see these these visual effects in music as well. Some beats come, when it beats, it changes. So it's about the identifying the rhythm in music, in songs. You can select a song that you like, and you can identify certain rhythms in certain instruments, and then you can generate it in visual mode. You need to use the board size for this one is 12 by 15 white illustration board, or you can use the black form core board as well. Okay. So the media, pen, colored pencil, anything, images, you can use images as well. So that I said anything, wood pieces, strings, cardboard, anything that you like to give that idea. So it has a written component, and it will be due on next Tuesday. So today, tomorrow, all of you guys need to submit the project. This is project 7. You need to submit the project 6. That's due tomorrow for all the yeah. Yeah, you need to bring it to class. Okay. All right. Is there anything that you want to know about the assignment? Yeah. This today, yeah, 6B. Yeah, 6B. 6A we have already submitted, you guys. Okay, guys, then you can go ahead and do your quiz 4. And I'm also saying for all of you guys, just remember to participate in your lab sessions. Okay, for every lab section, because it will be counted for your marks grading as well.